We had an incident where the only way we found out what was going on was through Lightstep. My name is Eric Wood. I'm Director of Platform Engineering for Under Armour Connected Fitness. We're responsible for all of the platform-y, cross-cutty things, infrastructure for our fitness app. So Lightstep really does help us in terms of saying, all right, here are the traces, or here's the context of why this thing might be slow or erroring out all the time. I have an engineer, that's his go-to now, so like finally we're starting to make the shift to where we're going to Lightstep first for things. I didn't even have to say anything. He went there, he made a stream and found like, oh, there's all these requests going to this one endpoint, no wonder this is misbehaving. We never would have found that before. There was actual user affecting behavior that we found through Lightstep, and it's becoming kind of like a canonical use case of like, hey, this is why we had distributed tracing for things. One of the things that Lightstep and the tools that we're kind of adopting is helping us get to this place of what is the user experiencing and how does that affect the decisions that we make. It's becoming our place where someone goes to figure out what's going on. We came from a very traditional APM format. The old tools, the old school kind of tools that we had, there's no way to find that out. Like you just see errors. You don't see where they're coming from, you don't see why. And that really makes it hard to figure out the class of problem you're trying to solve. There's interesting use cases around using the high cardinality data that lets us search and create streams and also create alerts on things. Dealing with logs and trying to correlate information across logs is a lot harder than building in the distributed tracing. It's easy to write log statements, perhaps a little too easy to write log statements, because where does all that data go? We'll do like a broad tracing effort. So like we'll have a new service and we'll just like build tracing in. But when we do that, all we're doing is building in like just the basic request response tracing and letting it propagate the headers and consume the context and so on and so forth. Then we start trying to answer questions. And one of my favorite ones is this endpoint being used? The answer is, well, do I see any traces? Sometimes you do, but then you're like, I don't know if that query parameter is being used. So then I say, let's add a tag. We add a tag, we'll create it in Lightstep, you create a stream, and now you can start to see whether that data is populating. And over the course of 24, 48 hours, if you don't have any data there, nobody's using it. Great, you can remove it. So we'll start to show our product managers like, hey, this is how this service or this API is performing, or here's why this is misbehaving right now. The diagrams are clear enough for us to show like, this is not performing well, here's why and here's how we know. One of the things as part of our culture, if you go to our values and you look at some of the UA values, we've got things like fight on together and stay true, and some of those values really point to the ethos of the brand as an athletic brand of learning from your failure and getting better and improving yourselves. And that's not just like going out and getting stronger, but it's improving your skills, improving your team, being there for your team. And that does translate into how we make decisions and how we use our tools. Let's focus on why that happened, how do we fix it? Let's not blame people, let's fix the tech, fix the situation, and fail forward, move forward. One of the things we're really trying to do is make it so our engineers are not afraid to be on call. Make it so that they're not afraid to ship code. Just take the fear out. We have a world where people are afraid to be on call. And that actually translates into other organizational problems. I actually see these tools as solving people problems just as much as they're solving technology problems. As we go through kind of transforming how we solve problems, we're looking at tools that can help us not just get there faster and not just provide like prettier pictures or more information. The last thing we need is more information. It's more changing the attitude, changing the approach, changing the relationship between our engineers and our systems so that they're not afraid of lacking context. They're not afraid of making a change. I view observability as a way of taking the fear out of doing our daily work and empowering people to make better decisions and take more risks because they'll get immediate feedback about the change and whether it was any good. Lightstep is a distributed application monitoring tool that is starting to help us figure out how to take the fear out of being on call and managing our systems.